Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters, for all the grace, all the clarity, and all the peace that is here for each of us right now. Thank you to the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for wonderful peace, perfect clarity, and outstanding joy. So if we could just breathe in, let's notice their wording, a funnel of goddesses. If we could notice, almost out of the crown chakra, but perhaps a bit wider, a funnel of energy going up that is only pleasant and perhaps having a reddish brown tinge to it. But if we could notice all the way up that funnel, there's goddesses, 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 goddesses. So if we could notice their wording, fundamental truth coming to you, fundamental truth being activated within you, which is your capacity for joy, your right to joy, and increasing your joy. And if we could also notice with that funnel, with very specific intention and energy, let's notice the goddess is coaxing out of you any energy that doesn't serve you. So if we could feel things coming to you, things coming away from you or out of you. And if we could just breathe into those dozens and dozens and dozens of goddesses working with you and on you. And if we could notice perhaps around the sides of your body, there being etheric beings who are almost like, who are acting like dancers. If we use the word spirits, they'd be spirits, as kind of transparent, shimmering guides working around you with motion and movement. So if we could notice perhaps the leveling is the word they're using, leveling of energy, and with the capacity for that to grow. So if we could let anything that is causing depletion move away from you, be that other people's energy, be that expectation, be that projection. And if we could notice perhaps outside of that, if there's a ring of the dancing spirits, then outside of that, perhaps 10 feet away from you, let's notice the architects at work to make everything good in homes and houses, to make everything good in the structure of life, to make everything align with resounding joy, and for there to be resounding joy. And letting this funnel of love feed, letting the movement heal, and letting the plans, the planning, and the execution of all this good happen. If we could just breathe into all these different dynamics happening right now with the sense of joy, with an experience of love. And that's a lot of little things if we could see it all as being simple and comforting. And just noticing the goddesses at work, we don't necessarily need to pay attention to that. We could just notice there being a change. Let's very simply notice along with the shimmering spirits dancing. Let's notice your cells in motion, your cells dancing with freedom and change. Let's notice the architects at work, and let's notice Ganesh walking around the circumference of you, around with the architects. If we could notice Ganesh removing any obstacles, adding a flavor of sweetness, designing joy, bringing freedom, and allowing good. Wonderful. As we notice dogs and frogs, if we can just notice nature contributing to this moment. Just noticing what that means to you, what that brings up for you. And if we can notice a space where there is just incredible help available to you, if we could just breathe in and let that help. So let's notice all that goodness, all that peace, all that love, all that joy. And just breathe into all this goodness, all this peace. Wonderful. As we notice the energy shifting and changing, let's notice very simply um, some of the goddesses, perhaps three of them, coming down to your body, not being above you anymore with the funnel. Let's notice them coming to your physical body's level. Mary Magdalene, the musician Hildegard von Bingen, and Mother Mary. We'll just notice those three coming forward. Let's let them acknowledge you with healing. And if we could notice them very specifically and gently creating wonderful harmony within your nervous system, about your nervous system, and around your nervous system. So if we could notice your nervous system is not on the surface necessarily, if we could just notice all the things that contain and cover and support your nervous system, all those nerves, muscles, tissues, skin, tendons, ligaments, blood vessels. We can notice all those systems working together and allowing your nervous system to have room, elongation, untangling. We'll notice all the goodness that is here right now. And with all this goodness that is here right now, with all this love that is here right now, with all the peace that is here right now, we'll notice incredible love. We'll notice incredible peace. We'll notice incredible joy. And we'll allow ourselves to be all of those things, to be love. Wonderful. If you could notice Mary Magdalene, I'm touching your face. And if we could notice Hildegard, who was an expert in herbs and plant life and how that positively influences the physical body and the mental body, if we could just notice her working as a healer, perhaps behind you a bit to the left, and her working on the back of your body, and she's including kidneys and spines and working on the back of you. And we'll notice Mother Mary working a bit on the right side of you, especially with your extremities, your right arm, your right leg. And she'll flip sides in a bit. If we could just feel into this care. Wonderful. We could just take in a breath And like an electrical current, if we could feel um, either one, two, or all three of the goddesses that are with you touching your hands and your fingers, might well be Hildegard. We could just breathe in and let any excess charge of agitation, worry, nerves, other people's energy, the energy of the planet, and on a deeper level, any experience of helplessness or hopelessness or stress or anxiety. And if we could just lovingly let that goddess or those goddesses help you and take away the excess charge and to allow a space of total freedom, total peace, total love, total joy. Wonderful. If we could just breathe in. And if we could notice the goddesses, Mary, Mary, and Hildegard, if we could notice them backing away from you to make room for another configuration of guys to come forward, if we could notice as those goddesses back away, them shimmering like the dancing spirits. And if we could notice musicians coming forward, and if you could perhaps notice, this is likely musicians that you absolutely adore. I'll just name some off that are present: David Bowie, Frank Sinatra, Prince, Bessie Smith, Hildegard, once again, George Michael, Ella Fitzgerald, June Pointer. If we could just breathe in and notice those musical guides, and if there's any guide, a musician that you adore, we'll welcome them forward. If we could just breathe into those musicians being present, and let's indeed let them free your voice. And with that freedom, we'll use our voices and if we could say out loud, thank you all for being with me. I'm so grateful for this moment of connection. I'm so grateful for this moment of joy. I'm so grateful to be safe and protected. I'm so grateful for my loved ones and the planet to be safe and protected. I am free. I'm grateful to be free. Thank you, angels, for the peace that is on this planet right now. Wonderful. So we'll just breathe in. And if we could notice the singing guides, the musician guides getting closer to you, and with their closer proximity to you, if we could notice the opportunity for greater freedom for you, and a greater opportunity as the hummingbird flies outside with its magnificent coloring, if we could notice your coloring being seen, hummingbirds and frogs. So if we can notice elements of your life that seem to contrast, homes and joy, responsibility and expansion and growth, let's let them all be one thing and part of the same process. And if we could notice for where we are physically right now, let's notice Archangel Michael standing in all the spaces that you occupy, be that homes, a new home, a vehicle, a workspace, a classroom, a grocery store, a school, a park, a city. So just notice all this joy being here right now, all the happiness that is present, and all the loving joy that exists. So we'll just lovingly and peacefully breathe into all that. And we'll notice incredible love being here. And with incredible love, with wonderful joy, with astounding peace, we breathe in deeply. It's very simply just to notice our availability through our senses, through our skin, through our cells, for great things to happen. We'll just breathe into all that. And we'll just breathe into all that. And we'll notice great happiness happening right now. Great joy happening right now. Wonderful peace being present. We'll just breathe into all that. Great. And if we can notice everyone who's been mentioned, the shimmering, dancing spirits, all the goddesses, the dozens and dozens, dozens of goddesses, Mary, and Hildegard, the musicians, Frank and Bowie and Prince, Ella and Bessie. We could just notice Archangel Michael, just notice them coming to you right now. And if we could notice a very delicate touch, perhaps on the tip of your nose, perhaps on your forehead, perhaps on the top of your head, perhaps all the above, we could just feel there being an acknowledgement and an activation. Wonderful. We'll just breathe into all that with wonderful peace and certainty and incredible love. We say to all these guides, thank you for helping me. Thank you for being part of my life. And with wonderful peace, we thank the presence of Mother, Father, God, and all the archangels and ascended masters. We thank as well the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for peace. We thank you for this opportunity for joy. We thank you for all the good that is here. And with loving clarity and dedication to joy and hope, we ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time. And so it is.